live, actually.
Well, not live, but in person.
2/3 of us are in person here in the studios, MRN, in Concord, North Carolina. Our third counterpart is where he is every week for the past 20 weeks, in his garage or kitchen. Can we put him up on the screen in the back?
Oh,
there he
There
is.
he is. Hi,
Welcome.
Daryl.
Hey, Daryl.
Cheers to you both. Cheers to you both.
So Daryl,
Happy Corona.
so Daryl's on Skype with us. I'm just excited to be back
Me too.
and see Lauren in person and to at least see Daryl in his head's way bigger than that's better. Now he's about the same size as us. But so we are doing our protocols here at MRN. We did the temperature check on the forehead. I was 97.9 this morning. Dialed right in. Did the hand sanitizer. I got my mask I wear around so people don't look at me judging. I got judged so hard yesterday. I had to drop off my wife's rent the runway thing. You know, they rent it, shows up in a bag and you got to drop it off at UPS.
Right.
So it's literally 4 steps in the door and back out the door. I forgot my mask. I walk in, and the lady at the desk, if she could have struck me dead with the look that she gave me for not wearing a mask, I'd have been dead, deader than a doornail. So I've never been judged so hard for not wearing a mask for I literally held my breath too, because I'm not gonna open a mouth and say anything, because then I don't want somebody to think a certain way. So I walked in, sat on the desk, I turned around and walked out, and got judged super hard.
Well, you learned your lesson.
How long ago was it when that narrative flipped to where you could go in, and if you were the one wearing the mask, you were getting judged a certain way? When did that paradigm shift?
Corona has changed us forever.
For the worse.
Maybe.
For the worse. Daryl, what
do
you
you
think?
I drove in the last week. I drove to Wisconsin. I took the car and drove all the way up there. And it takes about 12, 13 hours. It was a hike. Yeah, I go through West Virginia and Ohio. Well, not a lot of mask wearing going on in either of those states. Every time you stop for gas, I had my mask on. Nobody else did. But it says on the gas station door.
Wait, you stopped for gas and you stood outside and pumped gas and you wore a mask, or you went inside to tinkle or something?
Yeah, I went inside to tinkle and get some snacks.
Okay.
And it says on the door, must wear a mask. But everybody going in every gas station I stopped at, nobody behind the desk had a mask on. Nobody anywhere had a mask on but me. Stopped at the Mickey D's. They were all wearing masks, but all the gas stations, nobody had masks on. But when you get to Chicago, it says 14 days self-quarantine imposed. But I don't know how you impose it. And everybody just seems to be driving through. So it was bizarre. And I ended up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A lot of masks going on there. Everybody's, doing their thing. And so I don't know, just that middle area of the country. There wasn't a lot of things going on. But once I got all the way to the north, everybody seemed to be following in line. And I missed you guys, but I just got back yesterday. So I'm playing it safe because I don't want to get my friends sick. And but then I saw Corey was at a wedding. So maybe I'm the one that doesn't want to get sick.
Well,
and Lauren was at a baby shower.
What?
You can't live scared, Daryl. Can't live scared. You can live cautiously safe, but you can't live scared. So he brought up a wedding. My little brother, Casey LaJoy, got married this weekend. It was a lot of fun. The original plan was to get married at the Hotel Concord and have the reception at Hotel Concord. They had it planned for a year. And then when all this stuff happened, went from 200 people down to 100 people, down to 50 people, and no reception. So I was a small part of it. So they decided to do the wedding at Hotel Concord again, which is a really nice place.
Mm-hmm.
Then we set up a party, essentially a reception at my parents' house in their backyard. They got a pool, they got a big yard and nice garage and the whole deal. Had an AC pumped into the garage to keep everybody nice and cool. So it was a lot of fun. Ended up getting on the mic doing about 10 songs worth of karaoke.
Wow.
I sung until my vocal cords were almost falling out of my throat, and I sounded amazing.
Wow.
I mean,
I've heard some clips, and
I
it's
wonder
pretty
if,
impressive.
I wonder if we're gonna get tagged for any sort of trademark.
I mean, you might be able to play
songs.
like 10 seconds of it.
Well,
What were some of your songs?
so I think we started with Drift Away, Uncle Cracker. Drift Away. I love that song, and I think everybody knows the word to that song. So that's one you can get everybody wound up. It eventually progressed to Pour Some Sugar on Me,
Oh,
and that was a lot of fun to do. And then Cole Custer, he was there. He ended up getting on the mic. He sang some Shaggy. Wasn't me.
oh wow.
I'll be honest. I sound way better on the mic than Cole Custer does. I'm biased. 'Cause
You
it's
know,
me.
I believe you. I do believe you.
I'm glad Cole Custer won them cup races in the chase this year because singing, bar
It's not
hopping,
his thing.
it's not he wouldn't be very successful at that.
No.
Good thing you could drive, Custer. Let's see what we got here. This is my cousin in the background. You can't really hear me sing, but
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to insert the video.
maybe so.
Lauren, this is one of those had to be there.
Yeah, you had to be there.
You had to be there.
But
Corey is a karaoke king because we've done some NASCAR karaoke at Media Day, and he really crushed it. I think we had him. I'm trying to think of what we had.
You know
Maybe
what?
"Hot in Here" by Nelly. I think we had him sing that one.
So I've realized this in my older age. It's not about how good of a singer you are. It's about how much you commit to the song.
Right.
Like you have to put humility aside, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to go all in and own that shit if you want to be a karaoke star.
Yep.
Now, I've been blessed with vocal cords that sound like a mix of Fergie and Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not why I'm great at karaoke.
Right.
It's because I commit.
You commit.
You got
to
to
it.
commit fully.
Right.
I haven't been to Saeed's in downtown Cornelius in a long time to
Downtown Cornelius.
to show off my chords.
Downtown, for anybody not from North Carolina, is
It's in the back of a gas
street.
station. It's in the back of a gas station. It's actually quite nice. So we were from Daryl's implication, we were not reckless. We wore the masks when we were in tight quarters.
Yep.
We were social distancing, right? I have a 5-month-old at the house that I don't want to bring home anything.
Screaming Uncle Cracker at the top of your lungs. What are you
Yeah,
talking?
but there was no one around him.
Yeah.
He was on the stage.
By myself with Casey next to me.
Right.
And Casey has to do the same protocols because he goes to the track with colleague racing too. So, it's got to be smart, man. It's got to be smart.
I'm not trying to be a killjoy. I want you to enjoy your brother's wedding. You guys should be having fun. But please, people, this is it's getting crazy out there right now, and we need to be careful so we can keep enjoying NASCAR. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. I mean, don't
What was he gonna do?
Yeah.
Miss his brother's wedding, Daryl?
Yes, Skype in like I'm doing. Hey, Casey.
No,
this
that's
is a
for
great wedding.
weenies.
Thanks for having me.
No,
well, what about the baby shower, Lauren?
It was a masked baby shower. We wore our masks unless we were sitting down eating our cake. And that was it. We didn't even hug. My best friend, I didn't even hug her at her own baby shower. Shame. It was a shame.
2020 is a shame.
Yeah, it sucks.
You know what? Sorry, Daryl.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
No, I was gonna say I haven't seen my sister since last year, and siblings are tough. I found out my sister doesn't believe in science, and that was a rough one to take, guys. So,
such as?
she was just like, the testing's this and that. I don't believe in that. I just can't wait till the election's over, so this will all go away. And it was a long hour.
Your sister and I might agree on that, Daryl.
Yeah. So we sat in the backyard with mom and dad and baby sister, and
I did like your parents' yard. You were posting some Instagram stories, and it looked like a fairy wonderland back there.
Yeah, man, that's where we grew up. That's
it.
all still going. They got a lot of plants, Corey. You do any outdoor gardening in this quarantine time? Have you planted any stuff in your yard?
I don't have a yard. I got a townhouse, so we have a stoop. We have a 4-foot by 4-foot stoop that my wife loves to put potted plants on. And as hot as it is outside, they last for about 16 hours, and then they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot water them enough. So, yeah.
Well, go ahead.
No. I had nothing left.
Well, I was just going to say, I haven't seen that part on Instagram. What I did see on Instagram is Corey has given Levi his first ice cream cone. This is breaking news. His first ice cream cone. Lauren, you're a more experienced mother. What age do babies get to try ice cream?
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
That's a first try.
We're not too healthy in my house. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that about us, but Poppy probably had ice cream pretty early. I mean, just probably about Levi's age. How old is he now?
4.5.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit before that, but you gotta let them have some joys in life.
Do they get ice cream headaches?
No, brain freeze doesn't exist in babies, I don't think.
I don't know. I can't ask them because I can't tell you if they have a brain freeze or not. But it's not like you give them a whole scoop.
Yeah.
Like, you literally let them, like, try to figure out how to lick it. Like, he wasn't even to the point.
He was just sucking that ice cream like it was a booby.
Yeah. And like, once he figured out, like, oh, I got to stick my tongue out and get some more on my tongue, then he was, like, going after it. So that was actually a pretty cool moment. You can go on Instagram and check it out. We've been giving him a lot of stuff lately. Yesterday was the first time he tried, like, what do they call it? Like normal food? Baby food, yeah.
Sure.
Sweet potatoes in a jar. He was eating that stuff up too. So little man's getting bigger. He's getting bigger. He's getting stronger, and he's getting, like, funny, laughing a lot. So that's and he's sleeping a little bit better. So that's a game changer. So the first couple months, don't get me wrong, suck. 10 ways to Thursday when you're not sleeping, and my wife's been a trooper. So Levi is good. Talking about COVID stuff, we'd be remiss if I didn't notice on Twitter Bob Pockers updated that his wife had COVID. She didn't get tested, he said in his tweet, but in March, April, she was down for the count, but luckily she is recovering. Bob updated everybody, so thoughts and prayers are with the Pockers family. Glad that his wife has made a recovery from COVID, and that was, he said, my COVID truth. So his wife got it. Bob didn't go to the racetrack, and she said she was quarantined in another room, so hopefully Bob didn't get it as well. But it's real stuff, to Daryl's point.
It is.
You have to believe in the science of some sort, but, the masks are a little bit inconvenient, and there's certain times where I would like to tell people, yo, you were walking down the sidewalk by yourself. Why do you have a mask on? Like, you are driving your car and nobody else is in the car. Why you got your mask on? Something I could get down with for future is people who are in food preparation or are waitressing or waiters that are transporting food or preparing food. Like yesterday I went to lunch. Not going to say where.
This guy's just out and about, Lauren. He's going out on the town everywhere. Actually, this guy. Sorry.
Yeah,
this guy.
I don't know which way.
This
what
one,
do you
right
mean?
here.
I go out and got a sandwich.
You got to eat, Daryl.
And the guy wasn't wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask because there's a sign on the door that says wear a mask. This guy that's making my sandwich isn't wearing a mask. I'm like,
boy.
Yo, don't be breathing on my sandwich.
Oh boy.
Not trying to eat a COVID sandwich.
No.
So one thing I get down with are people that are in the food industry should wear masks, maybe even like going forward for like the rest of the time. Now that
the plexiglass thing that everybody has around them, like all the cashiers, I hope that sticks. I like that. I've always been big about like personal space. Like, don't stand too close to me in the Walmart line. Keep your cart back. So these are things that I will gladly take from coronavirus, and let's keep them forever.
Well, at the beginning of this, you were accosting customers and yelling at people in line. Have you had any more public fights, Lauren? Because I know for a little while you were yelling at people at the grocery store.
No, I yelled at somebody yesterday because they didn't return their cart in the grocery store parking lot, but that's about it.
That's
Cart
how you
narc.
know.
That's the problem with the world. If
That
you
is
can't
it.
return your shopping cart, like, that's why we're in the position we're in.
I was reading an article the other day. That is the number one way to choose if somebody is a respectful person or not a respectful person, because there's no consequences if you don't return it.
Mm-mm.
It's inconvenient, but who else is going to do it? the guy who makes $7 an hour, you're going to make him walk out and organize your cart that you just pushed around for 45 minutes, put your food in there, because you're too lazy to walk another 15 feet to put your cart away? Nobody's going to say anything to you if you don't.
Shame.
But,
it is a shame.
But it is human code that you should always put your grocery cart back. And if you don't, that's the thing. There are a majority of people anymore that don't push their grocery cart back where it's supposed to go. I think that's the problem with the world. People don't make their bed. I'm one of those people that make their bed. Take that out.
Every day.
You should put your grocery cart back in the store.
Corey, I have to do some drywall later today. And I was wondering if I could meet up with you and get one of those masks. I need one that I can just pull up like that for the drywall dust.
You like the super shoe mask I got here?
Yeah. Can you give me one?
$20 on supershoe.com.
Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't make the prices.
Corey, could I get one? That would really help me with my drywall project.
I could get you one, buddy.
Like
Daryl, what did you do? Punch a hole in the wall?
No, guys. Breaking news. I got a job.
What?
I got a job.
With who?
I am going into business. I'm going into business with a business partner.
Putting up drywall?
We are in the house flipping business.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I'm a house flipper now.
Do you know...
When does your TV show start?
Yep, HGTV. Guys, keep watch for me on season 3. No, there's a friend of mine that he's a house flipper. He's been doing it for a long time, and I've helped him over the years on lots of projects. And he called me and said, "Hey, what are you doing right now? When's these events coming back? Are you going to get to do any kind of stuff, any live events?" I said, "It's not looking great because people are at baby showers and weddings every 2 days. So no." But he said, "I'm going to pick up a couple more houses here in the next month, and let's start flipping." So I'm now a house flipper.
Well,
congratulations.
That's great, Daryl.
Do you know certain handy things around that? Like, do you know how to install a toilet? Do you know how to put a garbage disposal in?
Well, I don't own any tools, if that's what you're asking. However, before I met you, Corey, no, I don't have any tools. Look where I live. They just come and fix everything for you. I don't know. Before I met you, Corey, I worked in the concrete business, and I also did roofing. You know, like on top of
What's
the
roof?
A roof.
A roof.
The nail gun. Roof. I did roofing. And this particular friend of mine is a plumber. He does plumbing. He has a commercial plumbing company. So for years, you know, he has garages full of tools, like bays full of tools. So I would just go with him, and we do water heaters and, you know, other unlicensed work. You know, I was the assistant. Yeah. So actually, I'm pretty handy. And yeah, I know how to do some drywall, and I know how, but not electrical. Stay away from electrical. That's for the big boys. Yeah. I'll do anything but electrical. And I'm not crazy about floors, because the guys that do floors and the girls are way better at it. But other than that, I can do it.
I like doing floors. Floors are fun.
Yeah, but
you know what you could, if you do a rough right now in this 98 degree heat, you would go from a thick David Grohl to a skinny David Grohl real quick. Yeah. Did you see the tweet that somebody made the side-by-side picture of you and David Grohl?
Yeah, I saw it.
Dude, it's so accurate. That's a compliment.
Because I have a beard and hair.
He's a superstar.
No, you literally look like David Grohl from Foo Fighters. It's awesome. Own it.
Okay, I will. Well, so that's what I'm going to be doing with my free time, Corey. So if you're looking to get into an investment property, the market is going to be ripe with foreclosures, unfortunately. So we're going to
not right now. The market's a little high right now, but yes, unfortunately so. I think it's going to be later on this year, or the next housing market will be down. But
no, but listen,
this was some fun talk, guys.
Yeah.
No, we're going to get into racing, but the point of all this is I really do need to borrow a scarf like that today. So can I find you?
I got some, at the house.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what your schedule is today.
I'll text you.
I'm going to come find you, and I'm going to stay 6 feet away, and I'm going to borrow that, and I'll send you a picture with drywall dust through these amazing locks.
You probably have some Gucci scarf laying around in the wardrobe you can just wrap around.
I'm going to put my Red Wings on, and I'm going to get to work. That's what I'm going to do, Corey. I'm a real man.
Yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Guys, listen, this NASCAR business, okay, I watch in every race. I'm supporting my friend Corey. How many more Denny Hamlin wins am I supposed to sit through this year?
Ugh.
It's enough.
all
I've
the
had
way
enough.
down to the last race of the year.
This
I
guy
think
is on a
yeah,
terror.
up until Homestead.
Up at Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. Whatever.
Corey, I'm not a statistics guy, but he's had a lot of horrible finishes this year. And then the rest are wins.
Well,
What's
yeah,
going on over there?
He's
This is
He's
his year to win the
winning or-
championship when we're not going to celebrate it. He's
maybe
just
so.
Gonna...
Maybe I mean they're strong. Chris Gabehart got that 11 car running.
I'm not trying to be negative, Corey, but if he wins the championship, that's an asterisk season, right?
No, it's not.
Of course.
Why?
You didn't even go to all the tracks.
You went to a track, and somebody had to win at said track. Doesn't matter if you're racing at Watkins Glen or you're racing at the Daytona Road Course.
Lauren.
Right?
I don't really think, I wouldn't say it's an asterisk season. It's definitely been an asterisk season, but I feel like he would still win his championship fair and square.
Yeah. Because
So
the
he re-
playoffs are still
Yeah.
going to look very similar to as they would have without COVID. And if you wanted to compare it to other sports, I do think that the NBA season should have an asterisk by the champion because it is not even the same. It is not even the same season that they started with in November as they have now, and they're going to crown a 2019 and 2020 champion from this bubble season that they legitimately have for 2 months in Orlando, Florida, with half the players there and half the players not. So you can make an argument to that would be an asterisk season. But when it comes to NASCAR, I think that the competition's the exact same. You don't have some drivers opting out of the season like NFL players are right now. You have all the drivers there, all the teams there are bringing the same equipment they would be, whether there's fans there or whether there's 3 days of practice or whether there's show up and race.
Mhm.
Denny is beating the same characters, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, as he would be beforehand, whether it was at Bristol 3 times or wherever the hell else we're going. So no asterisk on 2020. I mean, 2020 overall sucks, but no need for an asterisk. Whoever wins championship the year will actually probably be overcoming more obstacles than most, and I think it would probably be a little bit more of an accomplishment for the race team, being that there isn't as much practice or there's no practice announced for the rest of the year. I think that puts a lot more weight on the crew chief. The crew chief's carrying a lot more responsibility onto how well that car performs. So, I think that the crew chief, whoever wins the championship this year, the crew chief will be equally, if not more important to that championship run as the driver would be.
That's one opinion.
What's your opinion?
I'm not trying to be negative. We're doing the best we can with what is happening, but I'm just saying, we're going to like a third of the racetracks, if not, maybe even less than that, and so we're going to places 2 and 3 times to make do, and there's places we're not going to even race in.
There's only like 3
know.
places we're not going to. We're not going to Watkins Glen. We're not going to Chicago. Where's the other place we're not going to?
Michigan.
New Hampshire.
We are going to Michigan. We're for a
are
double
we?
header. Yeah.
Oh, all
Where'd
right.
you say?
Hampshire.
No, we're going to New Hampshire this weekend.
Name some more, Lauren. We're
Well,
not
think
going to
about
the
the
Glen.
tracks that they are going to. I mean, like Darlington, I feel like it's
Sears
very
Point, Sears or wherever we call. What are we calling it now?
Sonoma. Yeah.
Sonoma, the Glen, right?
Right?
And then
We already named that one.
Chicago. So there's 3.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
All
that's
right.
not a third.
Well,
We're going to race
Arizona,
a road course at Daytona. You think that's going to be crazy?
Yeah.
If
Is
you could
Arizona
win
going to
that?
let us show up?
I don't know.
They don't care. They're
Well,
fine.
They just spent $180 million on the grandstands and pit areas, so I'd imagine they want a little bit of TV money to help pay for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm just being sad.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
you also can't take away from the people who are being successful this year. You know what I mean? Because there's things that you have to overcome on the simulator, and communication's obviously big between your crew chief and driver. Because if you race at a place for 3 times, Bristol, for example, like if you have a good communication and you can continue to build your notebook at Bristol, the person who races there in August or whatever we go there, September, whoever had the most communication from the first race to the All-Star race to that race can get their car driving the best is going to run better than the guys who didn't work on it and make their baseline better, right? So I think that that's another element to the season that's probably not talked about as much. But, is
Dover, Richmond, Martinsville, we're doing everything else?
We're going to
Richmond. Doing everything else?
Yes.
Yeah, Dover's a doubleheader. They announced, I saw yesterday, that they are not allowing fans, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now's a good time to give Dryden a shout-out because Dryden is sponsoring the entire weekend. Dryden will be on our car for both races. They will be on they'll be the Dryden doubleheader weekend at Dover. So that's cool. Fellas over at Dryden are good people. They've been helping me out for the last couple of years with the Snowball Derby and on the Cup car. So go buy some Dryden oil.
I guess I thought it was just a tentative still. Things are still tentative as to where we were going to be going and not going.
I'm fairly certain that the schedule is firm right now.
Yeah, I think it's coming out this week.
Yeah.
The rest of the season is coming out this week.
And so
we'll know.
I also have heard that next year's schedule is already done. They're just waiting to get the 2020 schedule done. That way they don't announce next year's schedule and also not announce this year's schedule. So
that'll be fun. We'll see some fun stuff on there.
Well, we kind of know what's on the horizon. The only wild card in there could be Road America. That would be an interesting road course for the Cup cars to go to. Nashville Super Speedway is going to be on it. That's going to be cool for the fans to see that weren't around in the early 2000s. People have their opinion one way or the other on whether that's the right track in Nashville for us to go to, but it's the only track in Nashville for us to go to as of right now. But it'll get the market involved a little bit and hopefully get some excitement driven up by the fans to possibly work on the fairgrounds. I know SMI and the Bristol personnel wanted to get the reins of the short track and eventually put some money into it, put safer barriers, make the infield care center nice, media center nice, and actually take touring series to the fairgrounds because that place is badass. One day, but next year we're going to the fairgrounds. I'm sorry.
Well,
the Super Speedway.
Speaking of fans, all these other sports have come up with creative ways to have fans in the stands, from cardboard cutouts to completely digital versions of fans. The NBA, they're all offering these ticket packages where you can virtually go to a game. And I was wondering if you guys had a chance to see any of that, and if you think that would work for NASCAR, if you think it's a silly idea.
Well, we don't really sit still in NASCAR, so you'd be zooming past the virtual fans pretty quickly, or the cardboard cutouts to where you wouldn't even see them. It's not just like baseball where you're staring at those people behind I don't even know what that's called, the batter's mound or something. I don't know.
Home plate. Yeah.
Whatever.
So one thing I've noticed from watching sports being back, which I love sports being back as a whole because I think that can take our focus off of all the bad stuff going on and focus on something
something. And if you're Andrew
mindless.
Gorman, it can take your focus off of your wife, so you don't have to pay attention to her anymore, right?
Everybody wins. Yeah, he's doing DraftKings, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just glued to the television if there's baseball on, or NASCAR, or anything.
Or even golf.
Anything, golf. I mean, I think, sumo wrestling, whatever.
On ESPN.
What? That's horrible. If your husband finds golf more entertaining than you.
I know. Isn't that sad? I need to step it up.
Poor Lauren.
Hey, if you go play golf and realize how bad you are at it, and then you watch the professionals hit the shots that you could never in a million years try to do, and they do it for 3 days straight, it makes it a little bit more exciting. And then if you can get into it with DraftKings and stuff and start betting some money, I don't do that stuff, but I can see how you can be a little more engaged into it. Yeah. But what I was gonna make a point about other sports, baseball, especially NBA.
They're all back.
I noticed with NBA, they've tried to church it up a little bit with the video screens and do the fans that are in the stands and the whole bit and put sound effects on when somebody misses a free throw and stuff like that. But I didn't realize how much energy the broadcast pulls from the fans, emotion, right? How it ebbs and flows, how momentum shifts. It almost looked like to me when I was watching the NBA games, it almost looks like they're just playing pickup in a YMCA.
Yeah.
It's just guys making millions and millions of dollars playing pickup in a YMCA. And our sport, NASCAR, is lucky enough that the fans' emotions doesn't have a direct impact on the outcome of the competition, unlike baseball, soccer, MLB, or NBA, sorry. And I noticed that right off the bat. I'm like, man, I didn't realize how much I missed, or even just noticed the fans' interaction with the players and the noises they make when they hit a shot, stuff like that. It just feels kind of deflated, almost like our pre-race ceremonies do in the Cup race. It's like after the national anthem, you don't hear the cheers, you just hear a pin drop, when there's no fans in the stands. So, but at least when the engines start up, the race is going to play out how it's going to play out. But when it comes to other sports like stick and ball sports, I think that they need fans there to keep energy going and to keep the momentum on either side, home field. There's really not a home field advantage anymore without fans. So we're lucky in the fact that, I don't think the energy of our event hurts as much as those sports.
Yeah.
What do you think? Have you watched any of those, Daryl?
Yeah, I just get kind of distracted, but I watch the Premier League soccer, football, and they've added some crowd noise, and I think it sounds good. They did a really good job. It's like tasteful, it's not over the top, and they're doing the chants and stuff, and so that's fun to watch. But they're showing, these baseball stadiums, it's almost like you said, they're back in Little League. They're playing for no people, and that's got to be a strange feeling. And the NBA is literally what they're like quarantined in a
in a bubble.
Yeah, they're like stuck somewhere and literally hanging out. And did you see that one of the players snuck away to go to a strip club to get some food?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he went to get some dinner apparently at the gentleman's club. I thought that was funny. Lou Williams from the Clippers did that.
Can't do that. You can't do that, right?
No, they made him quarantine for like a week after that. So, and then now everybody knows like he went. So that's 2020 in a nutshell, man. It's funny stuff. But
how was the race for you? It looked uneventful on your end.
It was uneventful until it was eventful. Unfortunately, we were actually having a decent day. I've come to really like Kansas. Should we take a break now? I feel like we've been rambling for a long time. We need to collect our thoughts.
We're gonna come back with a little beer, a little Sunday Money beer.
We're not gonna drink it because it's early yet, but talk to y'all after the break.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-thru coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom-flavored infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. You can also order our signature Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com or visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar.
Okay, well, we collected our thoughts, and we forgot to mention at the top of the show that this is presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts and Hercules Tires. But we have to tell you that you need to thank O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We are close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. I really need to learn that TikTok dance to the O'Reilly Auto Parts theme song.
Yeah, who sent us that? The other day? There's like a TikTok, not lady, probably 15.
Right.
Probably a millionaire from making TikTok videos. To the advanced auto parts.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm sorry. Yep.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah. O'Reilly.
So we can talk about Kansas right quick. Kind of eventful day. Unfortunately, when the ratings came out, some other people thought so too as well. But it was kind of odd. Like, it was a Thursday night race that didn't seem like, I don't think many of the drivers posted much stuff about it. And Lauren even said that she forgot there was even a race on Thursday. Right?
Yeah, I think I knew that like Thursday morning I was like, okay, wait, there is a race tonight. But for some reason, I was also thinking that there was a race on Sunday at Kansas too. So I was just really adding an exciting event to you guys this weekend.
So the scheduling was a bit odd, right? And I know that human beings are creatures of habit in a way that since the 70s, NASCAR fans have went to church, went to the diner, sat on their couch and taken a nap and watching a NASCAR race. Yep. That's been the way it's been for 50 years. So when we schedule a race at about 9:00 p.m. on a Thursday night, I probably don't expect the same people that tune in on Sunday afternoon after church because it's habit.
Right.
There was probably
because we were asleep, some of us.
Some of us were asleep. I would have been asleep if it was a Thursday night and I wasn't working. That's when we put little man down.
Right.
But, you know, how many people turned on the TV on Sunday after church and after they went to the diner to get their biscuits and gravy and eggs?
That's right.
And there wasn't a race on TV. Well, sure enough, they missed it.
Yep.
Sure enough, they missed it. But we were having a decent day. We were going to finish somewhere around 15th or 16th. Couple big wrecks. Ryan Preece completely schmeleed the wall. Luckily, he was okay. That was like a Danica Patrick-esque wreck. He got caught up in that. There was some other guys caught up. Jimmy Johnson, again, got caught up in a wreck. Now he's out of the playoffs. Makes me sad.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's still in contention after missing a race still has some sort of life.
Right.
I think he's – I don't know. I want to say I think he's going to win, but anytime that he's kind of stuck his car in the fence a couple of times when he's had race-winning capable cars, Darlington, Texas, some others. So let's hope Cliff and Jimmy can right that 48 ship.
I hope so.
For the sake of everybody, whether you like the guy or not, it's his last season. He's the greatest driver of all time.
How could you not like that guy?
We need to see Jimmy Johnson in victory lane, but we cut a tire down late in the day with about 30 to go, and we lost a lap. Finished 21st, but 21st is still decent for our day. Unfortunately, when that caution came out, when they threw it for me for being off the pace, trying to get the pit road, it essentially cost Brad. I didn't go back and watch it, but I guess Brad was leading when they threw the caution. And then somebody else happened to come steal the win away from Brad, so I would have rather Brad Keselowski win.
Mm-hmm.
But say his last name again.
Keselowski.
He did kind of fumble it there a second ago.
There's so many vowels in it.
I just didn't know if you knew how to say it.
Keselowski.
My stapler.
You know what? This isn't relative to the race whatsoever, but I was watching a clip of him on. This is from last year, I think, and he might have been on with Michael Waltrip in the room that Daryl used to do Mott's Minute. Then Michael stole from him, and then now he does his podcast in Daryl's room. So there's a sore subject that I want to hear Daryl's opinion on. But
that's not how that happened, but go ahead.
All right, so we'll talk about that after. But Brad had a good point. Michael asked, if you were in charge of NASCAR for a day, what would you change? And he didn't say anything about competition. He didn't say anything about the cars. He didn't say anything about the schedule, where we go. He says that NASCAR essentially has lost control of the midway. The midway being from the time you enter the gates, where the souvenir trailers are, where the funnel cake stands are, what used to be like slot car tracks, even brought up, for example. Like he says when he went to a race growing up, his favorite part wasn't, he liked watching the race, but his favorite part was going and playing the arcade games in the midway or playing stock cars, or they had, it was almost like the fair at the racetrack. And then just like on a Saturday night at any given fairgrounds, there was a race going on, but you could choose to go win a teddy bear at the old water gun shooting thing, or you can go in there and watch the race. So, and I like that made my eyebrows perk up, because that is 1,000% right. Because one fact, it all kind of boils down to money at the end of the day. Like Joe Blow at the slot car track that's traveling around to different venues isn't going to pay the $10,000 to rent space to be in the midway.
Mm-mm.
Or OEMs or different companies aren't going to pay the
Corey
amount.
Yeah, ask Daryl about this.
I think it's really cute that you think it's only $10,000.
Well, I was thinking for a 10 by 10 space.
I think it's cute. You think it's $10,000. That's all I'll say. In the 90s into the 2000s, everybody was flush. We were all getting rich.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when you're selling 250,000 tickets, you should be able to make some more money, because then you have a lot of eyeballs on your brands that are your dry deans, your, hot dog, Oscar Mayer, there was a lot of people walking around, but it seems like sometimes the prices never really came back down for some of those activations. So you do make a good point. It gets expensive for what'd you call him? The slot car man?
Yeah, Joe Blow slot car guy.
keep going. I like this. I like hearing your thoughts on this one.
Well, and I'll continue to roll off of your point because you brought up good points. When in the mid 2000s, when the demand for tickets and Bristol was sold out for 10 years straight, and you had to be at a waiting list to get even a ticket to even go watch the race in person. Yes, you could charge $25,000 for a slot car track because that guy could be there from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock in the morning the next day with kids paying $5 to do slot cars. There used to be people in Daytona. That was my favorite thing to do. I would walk out, probably 12 years old, ride my bike over to the slot car track, give the guy $20 and sit there for an hour and do slot car. Now you don't see those guys. You don't see new brands coming in to do any sort of activation or hospitality because it's hard to get a return when the demand of people going to the racetrack. I get technology and TV's so good now, people would rather just sit on the couch and listen or watch the race versus go to the track. But NASCAR has done a good job of trying to make these venues nicer and updated and have Wi-Fi and all, the whole bit. So,
I was there was a place called the Sprint Experience, Corey. Did you ever make it out there? I'm assuming they didn't ever have you out there as a guest.
I was still a peon. I still am a peon, but
so the Sprint Experience was 5 semi trucks and 40 people traveling, and I was the host of the Sprint Experience the entire time. And if you had a Sprint hat at all while you worked in NASCAR, you got it from the Sprint Experience, and that was where the Miss Sprint Cups were, and that was just one of the big displays. But I don't know how to get that back. I've talked with Brad about this before, even before he ended up on the Michael whatever show. We talked about how
Michael's Minute.
We talked about how the midways are a big draw, right? Your kids are looking forward to the race, but like you said, it's almost like a festival fairground atmosphere, and that is a draw, and that is half of the weekend's fun, I would say. You getting up early and getting your little tote bag and NASCAR trick-or-treating, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, the race was sponsored by EPT, like pregnancy tests, and that's what I was thinking is that first of all, that's pretty cool that is like a women-centered brand, obviously, because I don't think a lot of men are taking pregnancy tests. But that was pretty cool that they sponsored that race. That was like the first time that there had ever been a woman-powered brand. But anyways, I was thinking about the Midway. They could have been out there handing out pregnancy tests, and I'd have been walking past that booth back and forth.
Yeah. Get them. Give me the samples.
Do you think that would help, Corey, assuming COVID's gone, like to build the Midways up? Do you think that would help get more fans excited to buy a ticket?
Yes. I think it's all related. Right, when you ask somebody to pay for conversation purposes, I don't know what a ticket price is now. For the 500, it's probably 120. For Richmond, it's probably 40. I don't know. But if you ask somebody to spend $50, the draw needs to be more than just maybe they might not even be a race fan, right? Like you can't expect everybody who buys a ticket to have to be a race fan to have a favorite driver. If there's plenty of people that go to a fair to ride the Ferris wheel and to eat funnel cakes that don't care about racing. But if you made the fair, we joke that it's the travel and circus every week because in our little community, you see the same people. You essentially do the same act more or less on a Sunday afternoon, and then you go home. It's changed a little bit with COVID stuff, but before that, if you had a fair type atmosphere and people knew that they can go get free Oscar Mayer hot dogs or
a pack of batteries,
or a pack of Winstons, even for that matter, back in the day, and that's when there was 200,000 people show up. I get to Lauren's point that there's plenty of factors that factor in that, but it's all related, right? Because I think we have probably gotten hyper focused on, do we need an 8-inch spoiler? Do we need a 6-inch spoiler? Do we need 750 horsepower? Do we need 550 horsepower? I don't think the people sitting in the stands could give two shits. Small parts of them could care about the finesse of driving and throttle control and dirty air and stuff like that. But for the general fan, they would rather watch the race for 20 minutes, turn around, and go play skee ball for half an hour.
Right.
And I never even thought about that until I watched that video. I'm like, damn, Brad's got a great point. So I don't know where you start with that. I don't know if, you just, the age-old saying of you would you rather sell 2 things $10 or would you rather sell 3 things at $6? You know, so
if I had to take a guess, people are probably having these conversations. I think a lot of the moves that NASCAR has made in the last couple years, I'm a company woman here, Daryl, I know. But a lot of the moves that they've made, I think, to bring everything, you know, to own some of the tracks, I think they're probably moving towards some of those changes because lots of people realize that.
I agree. And I think that with Steve Phelps.
I love you guys.
Well,
no, I'm saying it in a positive way. Like Corey 2020, I like that you are, you know, you're bringing up stuff that's important. You should be in these meetings, Corey. You should be a Monday meeting guy and be talking to O'Donnell and give him some ideas, because I think the other thing that you're missing is a lot of drivers have stopped getting involved in some of those decisions. Dale Earnhardt used to be in the trailers and making calls and arguing with people to make the sport better. And if I guess there's something to be said for, I'm sure NASCAR doesn't want to get 40 phone calls every Monday, but it's good that there's a driver like you that is seeing the big picture besides just where you finish and how your race weekend went.
Yeah, and I don't want to necessarily be that guy because I don't know the struggles and the strings attached to their situations to why that makes those decisions so long to be in effect. But I do care enough about the sport to where I will vocalize what I think could make it better. And I wanted to say one more thing before we moved on to whatever next we're going to talk about. You know, the balance or the struggle has been, how do you get people from their couch, watching the NASCAR app, listening to their favorite driver's audio on their phone, drinking Busch Light that they've already bought in an 18-pack, watching the race, to get up and drive 2 hours and possibly camp, possibly not, but go watch the race when they could watch it on their couch for free.
Yep.
You have to make everything else worth coming because the product, whether you're watching it in person or watching on TV, is going to be the exact same. So whether that is camping, which everything's different right now, I get that, but in the future, and I think it does not allow NASCAR to almost like hit the reset button of sorts and be like, okay, now that we don't have this, what is essential? What do we have to move? What do we have to make more important, and really give the fans experience at the track to make them want to go to the event? Because you can say that you should come to the track all you want, but I've always said that once you go to a racetrack one time and you feel it and you smell it and you see it and you get hit in the face by a rubber pellet, like that's what makes you hook. Darlington, I want to feel it and touch it. Like once you feel it and touch it at Darlington and you get the goosebumps on your arms from the flyover after the national anthem, like that's the stuff that makes you want to go back, and it makes you want to go from Darlington to go check out a race in Richmond, to go check out a race in Daytona, check out a race in Talladega. And there's rarely very many people that go to a race one time and don't go back. So when we do have the opportunity to go watch and people have the chance to go spectate races, come on out. Have a good time. They have Wi-Fi at the track now. It's great. You can sit on TikTok, make TikToks while you're sitting in the stands, tweet, whatever you want to do.
Wow.
This message is paid for by the Corey LaJoie Association.
Yeah. And I approve this message. Have you, I should have read the whole story. I just saw the headline, but that's got to be fact if it's on the internet, about there's an autonomous car race at Indy, I think in 22, for $1 million.
With
to the
robot.
winner. That's the beginning of the end, boys. I mean, I don't know.
If we make it that long.
I think Jesus is coming back by the end of this year. That's the only thing we're lacking. But we got to do one more break. So we'll go to break, and then we'll come back with a Clutch Coffee Performer of the Week. And we'll read some reviews. Daryl's been saying we got some nice reviews, so we'll read some of them.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the Tire Tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
And we're back. Well,
we've been all over the place.
We have been. Not a lot of racing stuff. I feel like the topics have been good. We've kind of like lightly breezed over several of them.
Mm-hmm.
We might get in trouble for the midway stuff. I hope not, because it's not critical. It's constructive criticism.
We just want it to be better.
We want it to be better. We want a fair at the racetrack. That's what we want.
That's right.
We want fried Oreos
and free Oreos in the midway.
We want to shoot water guns.
We want to shoot water guns. We want to try to throw the rings on top of the Coke bottles where it's impossible to land, and except for the guy that works there, and he can get it every time. I still can never figure that out.
But honestly, there are people like Julie and Russell in our sport that get it and have worked really hard to make their tracks on par with the best sporting venues in the country. We just need everybody to get on board, but I guess it takes time. But there are some really, really effective leaders in our sport, wouldn't you say, Lauren? Especially for the tracks.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've said this probably a lot lately, but I feel like the right people are in the right places and they're having the right conversations. Finally. So
I love Chicagoland. Chicagoland was also they laid all kinds. There was wakeboarders out there, Corey, doing wakeboard jumps.
I know.
Awesome.
Scott Paddock was a president out there. He was an awesome guy. Still is. We'll keep in touch. Hopefully he lands somewhere good. I haven't talked to him in a couple weeks, but doesn't look good. I mean, I think that they're end up going to be like a Amazon distribution warehouse or something. That's what it kind of looks like.
We're definitely gonna have to delete this part.
No, that's what I think. That's almost general knowledge anymore. But
do you want to hear some good reviews, Corey?
No, I want to do that. We got to do the clutch performer of the week.
Oh, okay.
Well,
the clutch performer of the week is
Casey LaJoy.
We're gonna give it to Casey LaJoy
and Aaron LaJoy now.
And Aaron Yakuzo LaJoy. They got married this past weekend, and they were performing.
That's right. They put on a show. They drove my pink Barracuda around. They did a donut in Big Randy's grass and tore it up, so that was awesome. Good.
So they're on a pseudo honeymoon right now in Savannah, Georgia.
That's nice.
Oh, Georgia.
Little getaway.
You know what's not down in Savannah? It's Clutch Coffee Bar.
No.
So when they get back.
The Clutch Performer of the Week is brought to you by Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina. You can order Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com. You know, when I was in Chicago, my cousin had a little coffee grinder. Mm-hmm. And every morning, I stopped on the way home and stayed with him for a night or two. I would hear, and he would grind fresh coffee beans. And I got to tell you, I'm done with K-Cups, guys. Fresh ground coffee every morning is the way to go. So make sure you go online right now to clutchcoffeebar.com and get your coffee beans sent directly to you. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know about you two.
I'm going to get some too.
That's right. I just drink Diet Coke for breakfast. So,
Lauren, you got to get into the coffee, man. Mom 101.
Before we get to reviews, we're going to New Hampshire this week. New Hampshire is one of my favorite racetracks. Not the favorite on a lot of other people's list, but
you've won there, right?
I've won there in the K&N car, and I've run well there in a Cup car. Run well there in a Xfinity car. We broke one time, but I've always had a knack for that place since the first time I went there with the K&N car. I don't know what it is. The air up there just smells cleaner. Like you get off the plane, you're like this is nice, non-polluted air up here in New Hampshire. So I'm excited to get up there. Hopefully have a decent day. It's a kind of a short track, kind of a not a short track. It's flat. Hopefully they spray the PJ1 appropriately and we can have a decent race. On to reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daryl, do you have any?
Yeah, people have come back. They have come back to being nice. Maybe we have finally trained our listeners. If you're mean and hateful, we ain't got no time for that in 2020. We're looking for positivity in 2020.
That's right.
That's right. Here we go. From DBanks34. 5 stars. Thanks, y'all, for being real. Been listening for a while and became an instant Corey the Joy fan. Instant. Let me repeat that. It's great to hear from an actual blue-collar guy in the sport, not a whiny top-tier driver. Keep it up, y'all. Look at that, blue-collar. If that's one person I know, that's Corey LaJoy. Got grease under his fingernails as we speak. Also, these folks need to chill out. What's with all the hate towards Daryl? The show wouldn't be the same without him. Thank you very much. P.S. Denny Hamlin is still a Richard. Well, that's yeah. All right, 5 stars from Ann. I enjoy the Sunday Money podcast on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or whenever they decide to release it. Corey gives a very unique perspective on the events happening on and off the racetrack. Yeah, Daryl can be annoying, but he adds to the entertainment value for the listeners. Sunday Money feels very unmanufactured. They don't spend a third of the podcast trying to sell me stuff. Overall, this podcast is a 9 out of 10. Well, Ann, we are so unprepared that it's off the cuff, wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unprepared is the perfect way to describe
Yeah,
it.
This is how we prepare every week. We screenshot things that are on Twitter, and then we
text it to each other.
We text it to each other in a group chat, and then we get here. We all get here about
what
3
are we
minutes
gonna talk
early. What are we
about?
going to talk about today? Oh, yeah, so this guy won this week. And then we just start, and we fire it up.
And the truth is, we are literally just having a morning conversation. This would be a great morning show. We should do this every morning.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
We'll
we've had
s- we'll-
absolutely nothing to talk about.
That's what's the best part. It's just
You did
friends.
skipped over one word in that review, though. I said Daryl can be very annoying.
Corey, what did we just say about being positive? I have
Bless it.
this. I liked when we were fighting with people, and I liked when we were, making enemies. But if that's not the route we want to go right now, then we'll just simmer down, and this will be our hour of positivity. I can zen out for an hour, but I don't forget, Corey. You decide you want to go to war again. Lauren and I got your back. We will
Got
go
you,
at it.
boo.
You want to
Never.
fight with Michael McDowell? I'll punch him in the face. I don't care. I'm here for you.
I like Mike. He's all right.
I do too. He's
But
great.
we're not trying to sell you stuff. But if you do want to buy anything, my merchandise is available on CoreyLaJoyRacing.com/merch.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
what's not available is this Sunday Money IPA beer brewed by Under the Bridge Brewery.
What? Water under the bridge.
Water Under the Bridge Brewery.
Yeah.
Which is Lauren's father-in-law.
Woo, woo.
I think he
Lauren,
brews it.
have you tried it?
No, I don't like beer.
Oh,
Strictly margaritas.
It's got our labels on it.
It looks good though.
It's got the old label on it with our 3 faces, look like Pet Boys.
Mm-hmm.
How you like that America cap?
Oh, and it's got an American flag cap. It looks sweet.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
So,
I'll drink that.
well, too bad.
Well, sorry, you're not here.
Yeah.
So if you were here, we'd give it to you, but you're not. So
Yeah, gotta go put up some drywall, Lauren. Some of us have to work for a living.
okay, I
Yeah.
am working.
Let us know how that goes, Daryl. We'll check back in next week. Let us know how that drywall is being hung.
All right, perfect. Thanks,
Pixar
guys, for
didn't
listening.
happen.
I got you.
Wear
My
that
Corey
Versace.
LaJoy super shoe scarf.
I don't know if this is going to be good protection for drywall dust. Use your Versace mink scarf.
I still want one because my friend was like, "You need one of those ones you can just pull right up."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I thought
they're way more convenient because like you can pull it up, you can pull it down, you can pull it back up again,
yeah. So
Anyway.
I'm gonna come find
And you
today.
look like a bandit.
and you look like a bandito.
Red Dead 3. All right, we'll see you guys next week. We miss you. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you enjoyed Sunday Money.